Just wanna ride on my motorcycle, and I don't want to tickle. I'd rather ride on my motorcycle, and I don't want to die. Just wanna ride on my motorcycle. Late last night, the other day, I thought I'd go up and see Ray. So I went up and I saw Ray. There was only one thing Ray could say was, I don't want to tickle. Just want to ride on my motorcycle, and I don't want to pickle.
I received my first motorcycle under the Christmas tree in 1971. It was a little 50cc Yamaha dirt bike that I learned to ride on, and it was love at first sight and a passion from that day forward. From then I went on to different motocross bikes, and then I started in street bikes, little 125 and then a 250, a 350, 500, and from motocross I decided that road racing was much cleaner sport, so we got involved with motorcycling on the competitive level, and I learned to ride a motorcycle very fast down in California, so I could race a motorcycle around the racetrack at 140 miles an hour, and that was a lot of fun. I'm Linda Sue Peaker, and Shahab has kindly invited us here today to talk about a couple of the passions in our lives, and one of them, of course, is our family, which is my husband Rod and our best friend Toby. And one of the other passions would be a long-term love affair with motorcycling and community work that we have become involved with over the years. Just a little bit, my husband Rod and I got married in 1990, and he, up to that time, had never ridden a motorcycle. And so we decided to get married, and I decided that if he was really serious about that, he needed to learn to ride a motorcycle. So I bought him a Goldwing as a wedding present and said, here, you have to learn to ride this, because this is what I do.
Just wanna ride on my motorcycle, and I don't want to tickle.
For me, I work in the construction industry, and I enjoy what I do, and what it means to me is the type of work we do a contract at a time, and after the contract we just say, okay, we won't bid another job for a month or 2 months, and that's our time to run away and have fun, right? So on the bikes, or travel to just go kick back in Mexico or something like that. So
It's all about the healing you get from the open road. Along the way, strangers become friends. This brotherhood of ours never ends. We play life's hand like a poker run. Sacrifice your time for the fallen one. If you don't ride, then you don't know where I've been and where I go. It's all about the freedom of the open road. It doesn't matter if you're young or old, running with the pack or rolling on your road. It's all about the freedom of the open road. Grab your handles, let's roll.
I had decided that I needed to change the type of motorcycle that I rode. I had always been riding sport bikes, and you kind of get to an age where that's not so comfortable on long distance touring. We like to do a lot of touring. And so I was looking for a bike, but it still had to excite me, otherwise stop motorcycling. So my husband found this bike on the internet, and he said, there's your new motorcycle. And I said, don't be ridiculous, it's in Texas. And he just looked at me and said, so go get it. At the time, I was doing some work with Delta Hospice Society, trying to raise funds to build a hospice residence for the community of Delta. And the idea came about that perhaps I should go get this motorcycle and ride it home and write a blog and have people pledge money to the hospice. And that's how that came about. So I flew down to Fort Worth right on the heels of Hurricane Katrina, and then flew up to Dallas-Fort Worth, where I met a cousin, and she drove me to East Texas to pick up the motorcycle, sight unseen, from a fellow I'd never met, and picked up the bike and rode it home, wrote a blog every day, catching that up, and people pledged money, and then I came home to Delta.
Motorcycle riding has long been thought of as a male-dominated pastime, but Linda Sue Peaker is proving that notion wrong. She's doing a solo ride from Dallas-Fort Worth back to Delta, and she's raising money for the Delta Hospice Foundation along the way.
Linda Sue Peaker got her first bike for Christmas 1971, and she's been riding ever since. Now, her baby is this Honda Interceptor.
I bought this bike in 1985. It was a year old, and I've been riding it since 1985. There's over 100,000 kilometers on it.
But in her small 5'2" frame beats the heart of an adventurer. It's with this bike that she's done many solo trips around North America.
One of my best trips was 2 weeks after I bought this bike. I took a 10,000-mile solo trip. I started here, and I went through all of Alberta, right into the northernmost part, down through into all of the southern states, down as far as San Diego, and I came back up Highway 1, right on the coast of California. Right?
She's getting ready for what might be her most important trip. She's just bought this new bike, and she's going to Texas to pick it up. Once there, she's going to ride the bike all the way back to Delta to raise money for the Delta Hospice Foundation, and she's doing the entire 2,500-mile trip all alone.
I do have a few butterflies, yes. It's been a long time since I've done a solo trip, but I think that a lot of people will be following the trip vicariously, and I've set up a blog so that people can read my journal.
Despite some apprehension, she's doing it for the cause and for the love of riding.
I'm doing it as a fundraiser for Delta Hospice to raise money for our building fund. I'm looking forward to the time on the road. I love motorcycling, and I love touring, and it's going to be a great ride.
Linda Sue has started a blog, and you can follow her entire trip. Just log on to http://deltahospice.blogspot.com. And if you'd like to support Linda Sue, you can pledge money to Delta Hospice at www.deltahospice.org. 2,500 miles in 17 days from Texas back to Delta.
I always liken it to a geography book. You go over a little rise and it's like somebody turned the page and it's a whole different scenery.
Throughout the grueling trek, she was traveling alone and raising money for the Delta Hospice Society's building fund. Her goal was to raise $5,000, but she found help in the most unexpected places. The people she met along the way were so taken with her cause, they decided to help out.
I think the one that really touched my heart was the waitress who in Santa Fe, and she came out and gave me all of the tips that she had made that morning in the little restaurant. And then I was packing up the bike, putting the gas can on, got the bike idling, and she came running out and said, "Oh, I got a few more dollars," and she just handed it to me, and that really touched my heart.